Yep. And it's green.
You are on air. Okay. We are good. Let me just see if I can upload it to, let me see here. It's not giving me an option to go to YouTube. Let me just see if I do Facebook here real quick. Okay. Pitch live. Let me just do this real quick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. There we go. We are good to go.
Okay. Good deal.
All right. So, yeah. So what I would start off with, tell me a little bit about yourself. I'd like to learn a little bit about you and, your values, what's important to you. And then we could talk about your venture, what you're doing. I have a little background here that Funtology is an interactive cosmetology barbering. It's in small print. Barbering, nails, and skincare enrichment for youth attending. And I think there's more to it, but it's only showing that.
Okay. Well, it's Funtology Fundamentals. We're 4.5 years old. We'll be 5 years old in August. We actually have an actual celebrated birthday that we do in August. But Funtology is an after-school program, whether it's after school, out of school, or either during summer enrichment, where students are able to take their inspiration from the inside and their creativity and do hair, skin, and nails, whether it's cosmetology or barbering. They're able to do this curriculum-based program while they're still in school, and it helps to interactively bridge that gap for them while they're still in school. We have the textbook and we have the supplies that they'll need in order to be able to still do anatomy, physiology, chemistry, electricity, reading, writing, science. Everything's actually inside the textbook. And so, right now, we have our program in 68 locations, in Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs. We have it on a military base, which we're getting ready to try to expand it to every military base. We've actually we've donated the program in South Africa, and so but we actually have it in 68 facilities and in 15 different states.
Wow, that's impressive. And so would this be considered like school curriculum or
Yes.
Is it? Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes. And it's for third graders through 12th graders. And so they're able to learn cosmetology, barbering, nails, and skincare, even if it's nothing that they want to do later. If it's not Funtology, then what? So it gives them that mindset of where do you want to go from here, or I guess like from where you are now, where do you want to go with your education? And then everybody has skin, everybody has hair and nails or whatever. So even if it's not for a career, it's even to learn more about what they already have. So we have a lot of students. We have well over 800 students that are actually enrolled in the program, and the facilities that get the program, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools that actually have the program, they're able to actually use the program year after year. So it's not like getting it one time. Once the actual school gets the program or the school boards get the program, they're able to use it for the next year, for the next summer or whatever. So it's like more of a rolling or enrollment for the kids.
Gotcha. Not very interesting. So it almost gives them it's taking stuff they would, that they're learning in school, but in this case, kind of getting them into a mindset that they can apply it in a real life situation when they become adults.
Yes.
Whether if that's 18, if they don't go to college, or if they do go college, they go into the real world at some point if they have that experience, whether if it's in this career or something completely different.
Exactly. And then the fact that we have October is our individualism month, and we also like to place students in salons, for job shadowing. So they get to go to different barbershop salons and nail salons, and they're able to watch the actual professionals do the program. Pretty much do their actual work while they're actually there for the program. They write down everything that they've actually watched as far as all the different styles that they're watching or whatever, and they bring those back, and we're able to see how many how many shampoo styles they have, how many haircuts they have, and they're able to talk about those things. But then they get on their mannequins and they work with those same styles on their mannequins. So along with their kits, well, they have mannequins, they have flat irons, curling irons, they have fingernails, they have everything that a lot of stuff. Yes, a lot of stuff with that. Even the cosmetology and barbers actually would get if they were in school. They get to learn all of that as early as the third grade, all the way up through the 12th grade. So it truly is that bridge.
Now, how are you facilitating? How is this, like, in terms of, are there people that are in these areas that are instructed to, that are doing this, or something that, is it online? Is it something you're teaching people in the school system and they do it on your behalf using your program?
Yes, it is a turnkey program. So what we normally do is we sell the program and the kits or whatever to the actual school boards and to the Boys and Girls Clubs and what have you. And then we go out and we train their staff on how to actually do the program. So we do like a 5-hour training course or whatever for them. And they're able to get, they're able to learn cosmetology the fun way, even if they're not licensed in cosmetology, and you would not have to be licensed. No. And so the thing is, the fact that we're out there to train them. And then we have a training coming up or whatever next month where we're taking like all the ones that are actually, that have Funtology, we're offering them a chance to come to Augusta, Georgia to actually, to our regional training. And what we'll do is we're going to have a boat ride on Friday. On Sunday. And then that Monday we'll have like a full day of training, like 8.5 hours of training, actually 8 hours of training. And so they'll get to actually like to learn the fun way, but then they're also able to go back and teach it the fun way as well.
Well, that's great. I mean, getting into schools can, especially with slim budgets, can be a tough thing. And that's pretty impressive what you talked about. And you said 4 years, how long again? 4 years, 5 years?
Yes. Yeah, 4.5. It'll be 5 years next month.
Next month. Okay. And I take it that you're set up, obviously, you're set up as an S corp, a C corp, or is it
S corp?
Profit. You're not a nonprofit.
Not a nonprofit. It's S corp. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yep. And so we do have a nonprofit that we do here in Augusta. We actually started it. It was a year in February, and we do it like every so often or whatever. But we're able to take the kids that are here in the inner city, and we're like working with them. Probably maybe 2 to 3 times a month or whatever, to where they come out for free, and we offer them just extracurricular after school or whatever. But it's just them coming over to a facility. But that's the nonprofit side that we do. But for the most part, everything else is for profit.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And the types of schools that you're working with, or boys and girls clubs, that type of thing, are these in are they a mix of metropolitan areas, suburbia, rural areas, or any combination thereof?
They're both. It's pretty much any of the boys and girls clubs or whatever, whether it's of America or even. It all depends on the ones that want to take on the program. But what it is, a lot of the programs, they have federal grants. So they like to offer enrichments for their kids while they're in their after-school programs or while they're enrolled in their facilities. So they have to have enrichments and tutoring. So our program actually cuts on both sides. We have the tutoring portion to where we have it academically, and then we also have the hands-on interactive portion to where they can use it for after school, and they can use it during the summer for a full summer enrichment as well. We have our textbook, and the textbook, it is curriculum based, and so they're able to work on their, on the academia if they want to for the full school year, and then they can work on just hands-on. They can do hands-on like throughout the year, but for summer they can go strictly 100% hands-on. And the kids are able to go to trade shows, like hair shows or whatever, and they're able to see other individuals in the profession. Literally working on clients, and so it gives them that hands-on and that foot in the door or whatever, to where it's bridging that gap over for them.
So this is great. And in terms of metrics, when you look at, since you've been in business about 4.5 years, not metrics for the business quite yet, but let's say for the schools or clubs that are using the program, that you're able to kind of measure progress in terms of, you know, how they're engaging the program, maybe you know, maybe people that are coming in, you know, maybe their level of self-esteem, self-confidence, that
Yes,
type of.
yes. We've had so many testimonies where we've had some kids where they're like socially, what we were able to do was actually find a problem and then find a solution for them. But then a lot of the kids, like their parents have told me, my child was always like really, really quiet. And after taking Funtology or after being in your program or whatever, I can see that she's opening up. She's just, I never knew that she was
Confident.
even interested in her own hair. She's more confident now. I've had some parents tell me that my daughter is now cutting my hair. I no longer have to go to the hair salon.
That's a plus.
That is a plus. And so, well, she even placed it on Facebook and she placed it on, I guess on her Instagram page or whatever. So I was able to see it from there. And so, and then like now we're on the military base here at Fort Gordon here in Augusta. And we're also actually trying to go actively into some of the Air Force and Marine bases, or I guess all the different installations. So we do have our pointers out there. We're just waiting for them to get in touch with us. But our main goal is to be able to go to the corporate level, being able to go to the headquarters of the Boys and Girls Club, being able to go to the headquarters of the YMCAs, allow them, like I just like to make Funtology a club within their organization. So any of the Boys and Girls Clubs, and you know there are millions of Boys and Girls Clubs and YMCAs. So if we're able to get it in the corporate level, as far as headquarters or of America, then as their facilities want to take on the program, it's already offered. It's already a part. It's already approved here, and it'll trickle down to the rest of them.
Gotcha.
We actually go out, we train the facilities, and we also actually send the product or whatever. We ship everything, I guess whatever, to the facilities.
Gotcha. Yes. So and then you set up, and then the training, is it face-to-face that you do?
Yes.
Or
yes.
Yeah. So you them, it's not through online virtual, which I think in the beginning, you know, obviously the face-to-face is always more effective.
Yes. We do a 5-hour training course with them. So we go to the facility, we fly to wherever they are, and we actually train their staff, and we actually certify their staff to be Funtologists. And so they're the Funtologists that receive the certificates after the training is actually done.
Nice. So tell me about, like, you know, what was it? What compelled you to start this business? What were the things that were driving you from an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, about, and this could be your values, your principles, these things as an investor and someone, you know, in my network are very important. We look for that. So what would that be the driving for? I mean, I have an idea, but I want to hear it from you.
Okay, so I've been teaching cosmetology a little over 22 years, and I guess about maybe 7 years ago, our school closed up. Back in 2012, our school closed up. It wasn't my school; the school I was working for. I was the lead teacher there, and the school closed up.
You are a teacher yourself. Okay, got it.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So I guess I was teaching at a school. The school closed up, and I was like, okay, well, I knew that they were going to reopen. We were told that it's going to open back up or whatever. So I said, okay, I'll just start subbing at my son's school. So I started subbing at his school, and I decided to volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club, and I was taking over mannequins and I guess different props over to the Boys and Girls Club or whatever, doing career day things with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club. In doing that, I had to get my mannequin ready one day, and I had to sub at my son's school at the same time. So I kind of took my little planning period to work on a mannequin. The kids came back a little sooner, and one of the little girls said, "What is that? It looks fun." So as soon as she said it looks fun, I said it's Funtology. So that's where the word Funtology comes from. So when you think about the word fun, you think about ology on any word is the study of, and then fun is yes, and so the I guess fun is whatever you make it. So we do everything in Funtology or whatever, anything that's fun, anything that allows us to be who we are, and actually seeing ourselves for who we are and sharing ourselves with other people. That's what actually happened, and that's what we do in there. But what actually happened was I started the Boys and Girls Club. I did a pilot program for 16 months with them. With the pilot program, other facilities ended up seeing the program and wanted it. We went from one pilot, and now we're at 68.
Wow.
And it's been 4.5 years.
That is fabulous. Yes. Well, I can understand that. And you being a teacher, obviously you were able to kind of see what was happening in the school, in this case, your school systems, but in general schools around the country, and seeing where that void was.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Because you don't really have that on hands experience.
Right.
I don't know if down in your area, but I know up here where I reside, we have some high schools that are dedicated to trades, right? So if it's a plumber or electrician, or in this case, they do things, I believe, even for for hair as well. They go to high school, and that's what their classes are on. Actually hands on. But
That's
doing that earlier rather than wait for high school, I think, is really key, because that's the reality. This is what these kids are going to be looking at when they become adults.
Doing. That is right.
And what we've seen also, dealing with the kids, even from 3rd grade through 12th grade, is the social skills that they really, it's like, wow, when you start seeing these kids that normally won't say anything or they won't do much, then all of a sudden you see this like eggshell breaks open.
It breaks open.
And then when they set these mannequins in front of them, and the combs and flat irons and stuff, they're like, wow,
it's like Barbie comes alive again.
Yeah.
It's like you're sparking their creativity and innovation that every child has, but as they get older, they lose a percentage of it, so much every year, just through conditioning, all these different things. And, so this is a great way to kind of keep that innovation and creativity, matter if they stay in what they're doing, or take what they've learned and apply it into something completely different. But you're helping them to raise their level of self-esteem and confidence. And that's what's going to be most important as they become adults, when they assume responsibility for if they become parents one day themselves, have children, leaders in their community, their businesses, whatever the case may be. So I think that's fabulous.
I thank you. Just to know that was something that I didn't have to dream of. I had to wake up to it. And so, and the fact that I am awake now, and it's like, with us being together doing this, is like, it's wonderful. We go to trade shows a lot. We're able to place our program in front of other after-school coordinators, and we go to a lot of after-school program, conferences, and we place them on the table, and even the kids within the adults, they're like, oh my gosh, because they're able to see that some of the kids that they have, and these are people that are coming from all over the United States, they're coming in. We've had people even come from Alaska, and they'll see our program, and they're like, how in the world? And I'm like, I promise you, I did not dream of this. I woke up to it, and now it's like, wake up, oh my gosh. Pinch myself, wake up, oh my word. It's really, really good.
Wow. And so right now, with what is the next phase of where you are? You talked about getting into the corporate, entities of the Boys and Girls Clubs, certain places where now you can really scale this on a mass level. What are some of the things in terms of funding that you have? Has this all been self-funded up to date, or have you gotten any loans? Was there people, friends, family, that type of thing?
No loans have been needed. What we've done is we've taken the monies that we've made with the program, and we sow it back into the program. I do this full time. My husband Fred works, but I do this full time, and so the money that we actually make off the program, it goes back into the program as far as like one facility funds another facility and another facility or whatever. So we haven't had to go out to get funding at all. And I'm just like I told Kevin, we were on with Kevin Harrison and Get Down to Business, and I told him, it's amazing how the provisions have already been made. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that our provisions have been made, we're now providing whatever we need to provide. But for us, it's about getting the program, I guess, in the hands of the people who's going to allow for the program to, to grow. So if we're able to get it into the facilities that it needs to go to, or whatever, whether it's us walking it to them, knocking on the doors, or whatever it takes, we'll do that. Our next level that we're we have like many things that we're trying to do. We're trying to brand our equipment.
Yes.
So our flat irons, our mannequins, and everything. We want to brand everything or whatever with Funtology. So that would be with imports or whatever. Us actually getting our items, you know, from I guess like out of the country or whatever, and then get to us, and that's gonna save us a whole bunch. And like right now, our we have a high profit or whatever because of the amount that we're able to purchase, like in bulk. But if we're able to get it even larger, it would be even cheaper, and then we would have more profit, which is we already have a great profit margin now. So it would be even greater if we're able to buy it or whatever in like larger quantities. Another area that we're looking into is being able to get our career day RVs.
RV, yeah.
Now we want an RV. We go to a lot of different career days, and we volunteer, and we take the program to to schools or whatever, and we show it to kids or whatever. We want to build an RV, and it would actually have a salon in the RV, and so the kids get to come out of the box, and so it will be a career day out of the classroom, out of the school, and walking into a career where we would have the salon in the RV. So we would have a station. We would have a station.
You could take it from town to town.
Take it from town to town. Yes, and still keeping the bed in there just in case.
Yeah.
So we would have a wall or a curtain or something like right there, or whatever. So everything on this side of the curtain is going to be, our salon, everything.
And what are your earnings, Ebbet, right now? I mean, like in terms of where you started, 4.5 years, now going on 5 years. What has the scale been? I mean, it sounds like you've done very, very good in terms of, but like, is that all been pretty steady since you started, or in the last few?
It's actually growing. I guess I'll say in the past 4 years we've made over probably 400,000. I guess, and so the program has really been. I mean, it's been very instrumental.
Great.
And so being able to say that we don't have the debt in the business, and then each facility funds the other facility is always a great thing.
Nice.
So I feel, so I feel like now would be a good time for an investor if you're wanting to actually get attached to a program or a company that's thriving and that's going to go even higher. We want to be able to pick the person as well as the person pick us. And then we want, the person to even see the vision and just see that, I mean, it truly is, it's wonderful, but the kids prove it to us every day. Every day they prove to us that this program is worthy. It stands on its own. It is a proof of concept. We found a problem. We've been able to find a problem, but still grow and learn. So I love learning. So anything that I can learn, I mean, anybody that knows me and I know myself, anything that it's going to take to actually, ask Fred.
just come back. She just got a master's.
Yes, got a master's on Friday or whatever. So anything that it takes to learn, I want to do that. And there's a lot that I don't know. And so anyone who comes in and says, okay, I want to be a part of their business, I mean, I'm looking to learn. You won't have to do everything. I mean, we're doing it, and we're willing to learn even more. So it wouldn't be about like an investor saying, oh gosh, I got to come in and do all the work or whatever.
Yeah.
No, we just want you to come in and be a part. And coming in and being a part, you'll realize that it'll be the easiest money you could ever make.
Yeah. And in terms of what your growth to date, was that all through both your efforts, or did you have people that you were leveraging relationships, or were there people that were 1099, or pretty much you were getting on the phones and getting out there? You went to career days like you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much
on the phone. I'm actually on the phone daily, and my coordinators know, and I call them my coordinators, but just because I actually attached myself to every single one of them. I guess I didn't just give them the program and then just leave them. So it's like they already know that they can contact me for lesson plans, for lesson ideas. Like if they say, well, I have some Fruit Loops right here, and I'm just wondering, we know that you're out of the box or whatever. What can we use these Fruit Loops for in the classroom? So then I'll go into saying, okay, there are 3 types of color. We have our primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and you just have the kids to line up those Fruit Loops or whatever. We play fungo is just like bingo, or you can actually like I just put the milk inside the bowl and put your Fruit Loops in there and learn how to mix colors based on eating Fruit Loops. So we're actually here for the program. So anything that they're looking to get or learn with the program or whatever, this is what we do all day. So
wow,
great. There's no weekend in Funtology. We're workers.
Well, yeah, you're having fun, right?
Yes, we're having fun. Exactly. Every day is really a weekend.
So we mentioned that.
Now, in terms of money you're looking to raise right now, what is that precisely? I mean, we could we could always take this offline, and I could always see either with myself or my resources to see where there could be an alignment. But based upon I love what you're doing, by the way, because I'm a big
Thank you.
Of really resources that are helping our youth to become more self-confident, efficient, taking responsibility early rather than later, shifting them more towards a growth mindset and away from being codependent to interdependent. I think that's so important, not only in business, but in life in general.
In life, yes.
So what's for right now, what is the offer that you're looking for, or the offer that you're providing, and the amount of money that you're looking to raise and percentage in your operation?
We're looking to, and I guess, that will be something that we would have to discuss even more. But I'm sorry.
Yeah,
there you go. I'm sorry.
She was following out the picture there.
Look, anywhere I look, my head goes. Okay. I'm sorry.
I can see it.
We're looking to actually raise funds or whatever in order to get some of the things that we're wanting as far as our goals, and then more of the trade shows, being able to go to our trade shows or whatever, as many as we can. And so, and as you know, they're very, very costly or whatever. So
yes,
the more of those that we're able to go to, I guess it actually keeps things. Because when we go, we always get facilities or whatever when we go. But then if we're not able to go as much or whatever, then it would limit it. So as far as capital, as far as how much money that we're looking to raise, I want to say the sky's the limit. So I wouldn't actually want to say, okay, I only want to make this amount, because I'm such a goal setter and I love to achieve the goals. But
based upon your business right now, you said it's about $500,000 right now, you would say, in terms of revenue.
I guess from the beginning, from the onset, from the start, on to now. But then looking at where we placed it back into the circle, and so now I guess once we're able to actually get more of our corporate sponsors or more of our other facilities, I feel like we'll be able to actually see a whole bunch more.
And what do you feel like, based upon intelligence that you've gathered, what the potential is in terms of growth, percentage-wise, and revenue? I mean, obviously, I think it's a fantastic area. There's gazillions of schools around the country, boys and girls clubs, many other, organizations that cater to children. Based upon what do you feel that percentage is and that potential in terms of revenue?
As far as revenue, I know it is a multi-million-dollar business. I do see that. Being where we are now with, Fred and I have been married for 2 years. But before we met or whatever, everything was just me. I was doing it by myself. I guess straight with my feet on the concrete.
Yeah.
So now so now he's here with me, and it's like my feet don't. I don't have to hit my feet so hard because he's right there with me. But what I found is that having both of us here, we're able to go even faster. So it's not about me slowing down because I now have the help. It's like having him here, and my speed has picked up even more. So we have more actually going. So as far as revenue, I feel like if we've already made the amount that we've made or whatever thus far in 4 years, I don't see going another 4 years in order to get another 500,000. And so I do see that. Well, because within the past, I'll say we done an interview with Kevin back in October of last year.
Your camera went off. Oh, there you go. You're back on.
Okay, I'm sorry. My battery's doing something. Okay, there we go. We were in with Kevin back in October, and at the time we had maybe 50, 51 facilities. until now, we've actually opened up 18 additional facilities. And so, but I feel like if we're able to go to more of the trade shows, it would be a lot more. And then if we're able to reach more of the facilities that have the funding, we would have a lot more. So I used to have your magic number. I don't have a magic number. And I guess if I learn more, I'll be able to figure out more, and then I'll be able to give you a better number.
Okay.
But I mean, because all that's going to make me do now, I guess for today, I'll probably have a number tomorrow for real.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay. And so far, right now, is this your first, like with this pitch live? Have you done other similar things to go out and try to find money, raise money, like through angel investors or other investor groups? Okay, so this is it.
You're the first. We have another one set up for tomorrow. We have someone set up for tomorrow, and so I guess so when I got the actual message on yesterday, we were returning home, and I had fallen asleep in the car, and so I thought I'd hit a button or whatever when I got your message, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, and so when I hit the button,
I was confused because they got back to me this morning and told me that I was on from 10:30 to 12 tomorrow, and I think that's why it wouldn't accept, because they didn't have me, and I had a little time then. But this ended up being good. But I did tell them I was available between 2:30 and 3:30 East Coast time today. So so that's why obviously we're on right now. But that's probably why we couldn't connect, because they didn't have us set up. That's why my camera wouldn't even go on either. So
and it was really good. It was really good because I just hit the button. I didn't really realize I'd actually hit it.
Yeah.
My hand hit the button, so today works out even better than it did last night because my eyes were half closed.
It was late. It was late anyway. So and again, it all depends upon the person, like myself, that the Kevin Harringtons of the world and Brian Harrington, whenever they're available, and I have so much availability as well, especially the weekend when you got family duties and stuff like that, and all that great stuff. So here's what I would recommend, because I got about 6 minutes before I have to leave. I like to take this offline with you. I'm going to give you guys some contact information that you can send, general information about what we talked about. More specifics about your vision, where you're going. But I'd like to also see is, and you've already in a way of articulated it, but I like to see it in writing, like your value statement. What a value statement is it starts with your core values, how that relates to the operation that you're, Funtology, how that correlates, and the types of schools or the institutions that you're aligning with that find that common bond with those values. Yes. Is a successful model for building a business long term. And whether, if it's me looking at me as an investor or some other people I could talk to for you, I'm also could be a resource to help connect you with certain organizations. So I also have a nonprofit called Empowered Fathers in Action, and we've partnering with the organization called Dream Start Academy. And they have a decent footprint in, kind of similar space that you're in, but completely different. You're not doing what you're doing. So there could be some synergy there that I'd like to talk to a couple of not only the CEO of that organization, but a couple of the board members. Now, they're based out in California, and I can see where there could be some synergy, because what you're doing can really complement some of the other things they're doing from a learning standpoint, but they're not doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
So I'm going to give you I don't know if you guys have a pen or not, but I'll give you my contact, or I can text it to you here. I think I have that capability.
And as a matter of fact, I sent you a message in Messenger. So
oh, you did?
Yes, in Facebook Messenger.
All right, let me look for it. It might be in the other, because I don't know if we're connected on Facebook or not. If we are, if not, I can look for it in the other folder and see where it is.
Well, I'll send you a connection, and so that way you'll actually have the message as well.
That'll be great. Now, the only thing is I'm at 5,000 people, so what let me do that. So let's do this. Can you write this down? Is that possible?
Oh,
my
yes.
email?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. You got the pen. Excellent.
Yes. Yes.
So it's real easy. It's just my first name, Chris, CHRIS, at Christopher Salem, SALEM.com. So Christopher Salem. That email, I'll see that anyway, because sometimes I get a lot of notifications. I can't check them all.
Yes.
This way I'll get your email. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look it over tomorrow a little bit after my family stuff. And I'll begin to kind of process what we talked about and see where there's some things I could help you with, whether from, and then maybe even from ways to even help, even really fine tune your pitch and your deck, if you have a deck put in place.
Okay.
And then of course, my company, we do invest in startups. We do invest in businesses. We get involved in a lot of wide variety of different things. And then, of course, I have the nonprofit, Empowered Fathers in Action. So we're always looking, and it's a movement. So we're always looking to connect with organizations like yourself. And you have success. You're not a startup. You've gotten, $500,000, under your belt, and you're making traction you did it on your own budget, shoestring, so to speak. That's quite impressive with no funding. So
Thank you.
That's fantastic. And I can see the passion and dedication on both of you, when it comes to this business. So, if you could send me an email, I'll probably be able to see it tonight. I'll be able to absorb it more tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we can take it from there, and I'll see what I could do to start seeing where I could help either from any capacity.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Hey, Chris, is there
thank you for taking the time, and thank you for everything that you're doing to help our youth become better citizens going forward. We need more of people like you, what you're doing to make a difference.
Thank you so much, and I know it, and I thank you so much. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and get this. We'll get this sent over to you, and if you have any questions, I'll even put our phone number and everything on there, so you'll have all of our contact information.
That sounds great. Well, I'm glad we connected and look forward to taking it from here.
Right. Thank you, and you have a great weekend.
Enjoy your afternoon.
All right. Same for you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.